Hi guys, it's your big gay trucker with LGBTQ plus Truck Driver Network. So today I am continuing on with our series of talking to everybody within the organization of TDN. And so we are going to talk to Jess Orton today. So let's bring Jess in. Hey girl.
Hi.
How are you?
Oh, just sitting here in Ohio, freezing our butts off.
Well, it's a little warmer here in Bowling Green for the moment, at least.
Well, can you send it up here, please?
It's only 39 though, so it's not that much.
Yeah, it's 27 degrees here. And we are being blown all around, and I'm sitting.
Well, that should be something you like. But anyway. Now she's speechless and blushing over there.
Anyway.
But yeah, so we are going to talk to Jess a little bit and talk to him about the organization and what he does and how he became in trucking. And so let's start with that, Jess. Like, how did you get into trucking, and then how did you get involved with the organization?
Well, I've been in trucking for about 7, almost 8 years now. And actually how I got into trucking is kind of a little bit different than most people. I had actually just come out of drug rehabilitation and had coming off opiates and all that stuff, and was clean for about 9 months. And when I came out, nobody wanted to hire an ex-drug addict. Or so, when you put down a work history that you were, volunteering for, a rehabilitation center, it just didn't look great. So everywhere I looked was CDLA this, CDL this. I mean, that's all there was at the time. And I thought, what the hell? Let me give it a shot. My family told me, we'll give you 6 months and you will be back right here where you started. And so every year on the anniversary that I got my CDL, I called them and asked them how that 6-month thing is going. How I got involved with the organization was kind of a touch and go situation. There was an issue that our mutual friend Armando brought me into the group, and then I seen something that I do believe it was Denise that had posted it. Mm-hmm. And I told in a nice long post saying that you guys were complete morons and that if anybody in this organization actually backed this decision. I mean, y'all needed to have your CEOs taken away, everything else like that, and y'all were stupid. And before I know it, I got a message from this gentleman called Bobby Coffee Loy, and it says, "Well, if you don't like anything that my group has to say, there are 3 dots at the top of the page. Feel free to use it anytime." No,
I would never say something like that. I don't know what you're talking about.
not at all. And then 3 months later, I just kept, talking and doing things, and Bobby and Denise called me up and says, "Well, apparently you got something to say, so let's see if you can, put your money where your mouth is," kind of thing. So,
Well, that's just because I'm a firm believer that everyone has a place, whether they're in the background, if they're hidden. Some people's not as comfortable with certain things. I always try to find a place for everybody, and it's not very often that I ever, unless someone is disrespecting someone else, talking down to them, or just straight out bullying, which we have had happen. And I will let you know if that happens because I do not condone that at all. But that's the only way that I really will not work with you. And there's many times that I have made positions for everybody within the organization.
yeah.
So yeah, and with saying that, anybody that does want to get involved, you can reach out because what Jess does is, or he is our social media director, and he always is networking and trying to connect with others, and then he's always trying to get other people to help him with managing the Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn and YouTube, and then we have Big Gay Trucker platform, which has its own. With the podcast and all this stuff. So there's a lot for just one person to handle by themselves. And we try as much as we can while being over the road, but don't always succeed to keep everything completely up to date. But we try to. Hi, Jean Ann.
Excuse me?
Jean Ann said hello on the thing.
Oh, my screen is so small that I can't see any of that.
Yeah, I forgot your old bifocals over there. I mean, I know you couldn't
I'm
see.
using bifocals, bitch.
So, with that being said, tell us about life on the road for you. What is life on the road for you? How does it work for you, and how have you managed to try to have a regular life while being a truck driver? Because it's one of the hardest things for anyone to do.
Well, I don't want to use the word unfortunately, but it kind of comes to mind. My life on the road is a lot different than most everybody else's because I'm a big guy. And so I have to do things a little bit different than everybody, which I've gotten a lot better with here recently since October. I used to not get out of my truck at all. And everything that could be done in a truck did get done in a truck. And I think everybody knows exactly what I mean. Now I find myself where I can get out, I walk around with a dog, and it's getting easier. I wouldn't say that, I'm like everybody else, but my life is between Bowling Green, Kentucky and Michigan. And because, I kind of quote unquote live in Bowling Green, but my dad lives in Michigan, and those are literally the only two places that I really go. But life itself, I've gotten used to it. It's been 8 years, going on 8 years now, and I find that as the years have went on, you learn how to adapt, more or less.
What's the hardest thing for you, though?
Laundry and showers. I've always been one of those people that oh, let's not talk about the sensitive stuff. But I feel that maybe if I start talking about it, another driver out there might see it and think, hey, I'm not the only one dealing with that. Um, I don't get showers as many showers as other people do. Um, I have more baby wipes in this truck than most parents have in their baby rooms. um, I getting laundry, it's just because you have to sometimes you got to park way out in the middle of nothing here to walk all the way up into a truck stop, and I still have a hard time breathing and stuff like that if I walk too far. Um, and when it's freezing cold out like this today, I just don't want to do it. um, and then on the other end of that spectrum, when it's super hot out, I don't want to do it
Right.
because heat and fat don't work well together, just like cold and fat don't work well together. Um, 65 to 70 is my happy medium. But I want to make sure that, if I can help other drivers out there, that's what this organization has taught me, that it's not just you. There we really do help other people out there, and especially the ones who don't have a voice, or at least think they don't have a voice.
Well, there's a lot of people that you feel that. I think that we've been able to meet a lot of people, and that's like the really cool thing. We may not see everybody on the page, but we do get to meet them as we go across the country, and we're able to do a lot of things that other drivers don't get to do. By having the network and meeting other people, and it's not just drivers. There is people that we connect with that are um, dispatchers and HR representatives and people, especially by calling and connecting, like at Taz, we have
Millie,
huh?
Miss Millie.
Millie, yeah, yep. We have Millie over at Taz, and she's a wonderful person to chat with, and we became friends with. And none of us work there, but she just was a really awesome contact and a person to reach out to. And then so it's and then we get that a lot of the different companies, and even at Highfeld, I know that Derek absolutely loves speaking with them about being a really good LGBTQ vetted company for the LGBTQ and they're one of the newest ones we have. And we get those connections, and we don't even work for those companies, but it's awesome that we are able to do that. We've made media connections and company connections, and it helps. It's really awesome. Now it's not always a walk in the park, and not everybody likes to have us
Correct.
call them or talk to them. So let's talk about that a little bit. So when Jess got into this, we're going to let's talk about Matt's a little bit, because even though Matt's tolerates us is a good way to put that, they let us attend, and
Yeah.
they take our money,
Yep.
and that's about it, the extent of it. So let's talk about your interaction and how that was, because a lot of people perceived you as being really, yeah, well, an ass and being pushy on last year, but it was just because you were doing your job, which was trying to get media out there and attention, and that turned into a whole snowball of
Hell.
so let's talk about that a second. Yeah, tell us a little bit about that, how that, and what you learned from that during that process.
So last year, it was just at the very beginning of my existence with this organization. I decided to go on a few websites, and when I started this position with the organization, I wanted to make sure that I did it like it was a job. Well, I kind of took it a little bit too far, I guess, with the whole being bossy, and I guess I seen director behind my name of something, and I thought, okay, I can direct people. Yeah, probably not the best thing to do. Um. Anyway, I went on websites and I went on Mid American Truck Show affiliated Facebook pages, and I was trying to get media out there. We were going to be here. It's the very first time we're going to be there. Come by our booth. We really want to see you. Unfortunately, they did not want to see us. I received my very first death threat. That was kind of fun.
Yeah.
I learned really quick that we really weren't wanted in this industry, which is funny because we've been here all along and we're not going anywhere. Matter of fact, we're recruiting, not recruiting, but there's more and more every day that join this industry because they feel like they can hide here. And, that's exactly kind of what the industry does.
Mhm.
The Mid American Truck Show does not like us. Like Bobby said,
They tolerate.
they allow us to set up, but that is it. We have been discriminated against multiple times last year, and we've been discriminated against multiple times already this year. They will not promote us. They will not give us the advertising like everybody else does. And I don't feel that's right. We are as equal in this industry as everyone else.
Yeah, we are. So what do you think what has that taught you? I mean, did it open your eyes to anything while being here? Did it change anything?
It saddened me, for one, because I never thought being gay in my lifetime, when I first came into this organization, I had no clue who we were helping. I'm like, I told you, I told Ashley, Derek won't hear that. But Denise, I told everyone, why do you guys do what you do? It doesn't help anyone. And then I went to my first event, which was Matt's. And I met people at that booth that walked up and was crying. And it wasn't bad crying, it was happy crying because they realized that someone just like them is here for them or is here in the industry and they are represented. And I learned real quick that there is so much more to this job and to this industry and to this organization than just being able to talk a lot.
Right?
I've had people come up to me at Matt's last year, and I was sobbing my eyes out by the time I was done. And it does not take much to get me to cry. So, it was just nice to see, like, what I was doing was actually helping someone.
No, I get it.
And this organization, beyond just being, an LGBTQ plus organization, I'll be the first one to say, without this organization, I wouldn't be here.
It's one of those, once you become a part of the organization, it helps a lot of people. It helps a lot of people with community and just their esteem and everything that and to be active within your community, to be active in helping others and people who doesn't always have a good day. And some people have deal with emotions and stress and suicidal ideation and depression and anxiety, and they bury themselves in these trucks and they live in their little bubble and they feel like, but then they become a part of the page, they become a part of things, and they're like, oh, I don't really know if I can put myself out there like that. But after they get doing it, after they can become a part of it and come to meet us at a group outing or anything that we're doing, it changes. it changes everything, I feel, and it changes the people. It's amazing to be able to do that with others. It really is. To provide that with everybody else is pretty awesome.
I think Bowling Green Pride was my biggest eye opener.
Bowling Green Pride was a lot of fun. You know, it really was.
It was inspirational. It was educational to me. Like I literally seen my community come out and support us, and then how I was able to support my community. Matt's is one thing because it's, I mean, I don't say this to be completely mean, but Matt's is full of bigots.
It
You
is.
know, and it's full of people who just don't give a damn about us and who
Well,
think that LGBTQ people don't belong in the industry. So when I went to my first Pride event, it was completely different. I was able to go, through, and I remember when I first came here, I ain't going to no Pride events. I don't want nothing to do with no events at all. I'm just gonna sit in my truck. I ain't going to no damn gay bars. I'm gonna
I
sit
remember
there
that.
with sandwiches.
I
um,
I remember that. I remember someone being very feisty is a good word. um, yeah, I remember someone being very feisty about that. But but you learn through it, honestly.
right.
Yeah.
I've learned. I know I've definitely learned. Here recently, um, ways to sit back and not talk as much and listen more, which is something that's really required in this industry, as in what we do for the organization. And I really have to put into that consideration. It's not just about me. Um, my mother used to tell me that all the time, but
No, I get it. You know, it's hard for people to understand until you become active and until you become an advocate in the community. Um, but once you do, it's so rewarding. Um, it is. And even if you're not someone who's used to being out there, it's just a very rewarding way to be. And it's very rewarding to help others. And it just helps a lot.
I really wish I could read those comments.
It says, Trooper is here. Hey, guys. We're one big family. We are a big dysfunctional family. Dysfunctional family at times, but that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. So, what would you like to see happen within the group? Where would you like to see things? What is the biggest struggle you find right now?
People helping. People forgetting where we start, why this organization was started. Um, it's it seems to have gone to 3 or 4 people only doing stuff. We have 1,700 people in this or in this in our on our Facebook page, and we have countless amount of people that we talk to on a daily basis, and it just seems like people have gotten in a rut, and I do that too. I'm not gonna say I don't, because I do, but it cannot always be left up to 4 people to do things for a group as the size of ours. it definitely takes a village to do what we do. And I do think the people that do help, I mean, it's tremendous help because, like you said earlier, everything that I try to do, and I'm helping you, and I help doing the social media stuff. And I mean, you do so much more than anybody knows. I mean, I see what you do on a daily basis.
A
Where
lot of people
I
don't
just feel,
understand.
I just feel more people need to step up and take a more of a leadership role in doing what needs to be done.
I would agree. I'm not going to disagree because I do a lot of stuff that others don't even have any idea. They have no clue. Plus, on top of everything that I do, I'm always doing something else. Like, for instance, printing stuff right there, printer.
Right.
And like, I'm always doing something. I'm always staying busy, printing something out, doing something. Today, I'm making
Actually,
t-shirts, and actually, here, for instance, ah, these will be the shirts that everybody wears, which matches the banner back there. So
that
these are
is
the
so
shirts
cute.
for the show. And so all the group will have these shirts. And you can order these shirts up to a size 6X in any color, pretty much. So if anybody has any shirts that they would like, and if it is like a 6X, it is like $35, but it's because it's like $8 extra for
Go
anything.
from extra small to billboard.
But as anybody knows, if you are buying bigger shirts and stuff, you had to pay like $6 or $8 more. So it
You don't
is more
know how much
expensive.
I pay for like the fancier shirts.
Right. And they are like full cut shirts, and they are 100% cotton, and they are for the loom. So
And they help out local jobs because they come from a factory in Bowling Green.
they do. They come from the factory right here in Bowling Green, and which makes it really cool. So with all of this stuff going on within the organization, and then we have all that happening. But let's talk about these things going on in America today. And I touch on this all the time because I think it's important to hear each person's view on it. And so, how do you feel about all of the bills, legislation, all the things they're trying to pass right now for for drag queens and the transgender community? Where do you think that the problem lies? Like, why is this happening? And what is your opinion on all this right now?
Well, as you know, when I came into this, I had a mixed understanding of of those communities as well as my own. And through the last year, you know, I've dated within the trans community, and I have learned a lot more about the drag community, which, you know, at some point in time, I'm gonna be in drag. Um, I don't like it because it's hurting, one, my friends, and two, my family.
Right.
Um, never did I ever think I would have family within those communities. Um, they these laws are, to me, unconstitutional. They are taking the rights and the freedoms that so many people have fought for and that have been given to us because we are a democracy. And in a democratic state of mind and country, things like these bills would never, really should not be there. But unfortunately, they are. And I really do feel, I remember, I think it was Alyssa Potter who's in our organization. I loved the way she said it. It's like gender genocide.
Right.
My thing is history repeats itself. And unfortunately, I really see, sorry, um, I see really bad things happening. And I see them trying to get rid of our community. Why? I don't know. We don't. I I was watching a video that Ashley put on TikTok this morning. That she put out a couple weeks ago, and she is saying that these supposed Christians always say, "Well, please don't you know push your ideology down our throats.
Right.
Please stop doing it to us too." You know, not
It goes both
and
ways.
it's not even that we're pushing it down anybody's throat. It's just proving the point that we're here. We've always been here.
Yeah. I mean, I feel, that I don't think anyone's pushing someone down someone else's throat, but I do feel that what happens is we need to start understanding that everyone should be involved on everything. It should not be just like one specific area. And that's all that anyone is really trying to do
Yeah,
is um, is be involved in their community. And with that being said, like I feel that that's why there is this little, I don't know how to explain it really. I mean, I feel like that's why there is this disconnect or whatever going on, because people think that people are shoving it down your throat, and you're not shoving someone down someone's throat. What you're doing is actually just you're really just trying to be yourself,
right.
and I'm not trying to shove anything down someone else's throat. If anything, trying to just be myself and feel comfortable with who I am, and it's not shoving anything down someone's throat. Um, I get it. Sometimes I do. I'm not saying it, I don't understand where they're coming from on some things, but that's really not the goal or what any of us are doing. Um, I think the hardest thing for some people to understand is when we're doing things and when we are within the community and we're going to the truck show, and um, some people instantly think the only thing we are is gay. That's the only thing. That's the only thing they think about. The only thing they want to concentrate on. Um, Instantly scream pedophile. Instantly scream these different
Slut,
things.
whore.
Right, and that's not the case at all. I don't want to sleep with you. I don't look at you as even having parts. Like I have amazing people within the community, and I know that they're happily married. I'm happily married,
I know you like
and
two bubbles that just bounce off each other.
but people don't get that. People like to focus on the sexual aspect of everything because that's where their mind goes to. And honestly, it's wrong. Like the sexual aspect has the least to do with it. What I do in my bedroom or my truck is my own business, unless you're paying my bills, which I have plenty if you want to pay some. But
I got a sack up here. Who wants those?
I mean, I have plenty. If you want to stand in line, there is enough bills to go around.
Yeah, we will have a whole table of them at Matt's just waiting for you.
Right. And, that's the thing with the organization and the group is I literally try to all the time. It's like a broken record. I tell everybody, hey, I really want you guys to show everyday life, show that you are the same as everybody else. And I love that when people do. That is like my goal a lot of the time is people just showing their life, because I want other truckers to see that we're doing the same as them. There's nothing different. That's one of the biggest goals for me. And even though people, it's hard sometimes to not, because some people instantly want to go to that sexual aspect. Oh my gosh, you do this in the bedroom. Well, yeah, I do
Well,
that.
so do they, in a different kind of way.
Right, right. So it's just one of the, I try not to. Um, I try not to think about it. Um, but people just literally get so focused on it. That's what they focus on.
Right. And I get that. I do.
That is where their mindset goes, and that's what they focus on, unfortunately.
Oh.
So, with you, what do you think is the hardest part of all this?
Oh, what? You want to narrow that down a little bit?
Well, I mean, like being a driver, being on the road, doing all these things. What do you
Not
think is
having
the,
a life.
what was it?
Not having a life. You know, I learned real quick in this industry that truck driving is a relationship killer. It's hard to have an actual. If you didn't start within a relationship, it is very hard to get one and keep one. Um, Not many people understand what we do and how long we do it for. I've
Right.
gone through, Lord, I don't even know how many think about how many men that I've dated and tried to date because they can't do the whole 4 weeks away from someone thing. And the
But I mean,
fact,
that's for everybody. It doesn't matter whether you're straight, gay, bi, whatever. It really doesn't matter. Like people just have issues.
and then the fact that I can't just drop what I'm doing and just go home in case someone gets sick or anything else like that. And just don't have. Don't get me wrong, I love what I do, and I've seen so many things that I never thought I'd see. I grew up poor, so I never thought I'd leave the state of Michigan. Um, which I would like to give a shout out to the state of Michigan for just signing into law for protecting people of the same sex marriages and all that other stuff, and Kentucky for not passing the drag bill. So look, I stay in between the two states that are protecting us.
Right. And right
um,
now, it is surprising that Michigan and um, has been the way they are. But I mean, believe it or not, Michigan is not a state that I would think. It's one of the last states I would think that really would be standing up for the rights of others. But they are.
I grew up on the east side of the state, and that side of the state is exactly what you think it would be. And then the west side of the state is the more liberal side, and because the bigger cities are on the western side of the state, that's where it kind of comes in handy. And Grand Rapids, Michigan is actually one of the best places to live in America for LGBTQ individuals. So,
No,
man,
I get it.
I tell you what, I'm liking this interview. I figured you were going to be a hard ass on me or something. Like,
I'm not
I'm
always a hard ass. You know this.
if I tell you what, if I would have had wine available, I probably would have been drinking it before.
I have iced coffee. Does that matter? Does that make a difference?
I got root beer.
Root beer and iced coffee, not the best mix. But if you had like a root beer float, that'd be better.
Oh man.
So, like, what do you find to busy yourself besides the group, and what other things do you do on the truck to keep your mind? Is there anything? I know, Jeanine she's a very zen person, tries to find her happy medium within her life and goes walking, likes nature. Everyone has their thing. I say active and use the group as a way to bury my head and deal with things. So I stay very active within the group, but then I also stay active on the phone, talking to people all the time. I have my doggies, I have my video games. So there's a lot, everyone has their little niches of what they do when on the road to try to keep their sanity. And what about you?
Well, I was trying to get the dog's attention so she could have her 15 minutes of fame, but she ain't nothing to do with me.
Miss Phoebe.
I have Phoebes, and the between 45 and 50 phone calls to you a day.
Mm-hmm.
And then and I no longer have to ask permission, so I'm really good and happy about that. I don't know, I just I'm not a big video gamer, never have been. um I love watching HGTV on my Discovery Plus, and
But recently you did get a Switch.
I did. I acquired a Switch from somebody I know,
Uh,
and then my dumbass went and kind of left it on said person's couch in Kentucky, and so that that's kind of not helping right now.
right. But it is a really very therapeutic way to pass the time on the road. It's compact and it's a really easy way to, you know.
Oh, now she comes up. Okay, hold on. Come here, fat girl. Say hi, everybody.
Hi, Miss Phoebes.
See, I'm still wearing my green from yesterday.
I see you, Phoebes.
I think you're frozen, Bobby. Oh,
Why?
there you are. Now you moved your head. She's like,
Phoebe, what
who
you
is that?
doing, Becca?
That's your Uncle Bobby.
So anybody that knows Jess, they know them as Phoebes because Phoebes is just an adorable part of, well, I would say the most adorable part, but that's just my.
She's been on a truck with me since she was 11 months old, and she is now going on 6 years old. So she has been through everything with me. She has seen things fly across trucks. She's learned every cuss word from here to California and back. Um, Matter of fact, she hears the F word come out. She literally goes to the back, like, no, I'm not dealing with this. Um, she's been my rock, believe it or not. That is one thing. I had somebody I was on the phone with the one day, and I was talking to her, and he's like, "Are you seriously talking to that damn dog like she's a person?" I said, "Yeah, she's a lot better friend than you are." I'm talking to the person I was on the phone with, and they really are. They are. She is my family. She's my kid,
Right.
and you know, when she gets in trouble, just like kids do, you poop on the floor, you get in trouble, that kind of thing.
No, I get it completely.
So yeah, I mean, she's one of my outlets for sure. But the group itself is, that's if you really want to be real, and that's what one thing we do on this podcast is we are real. I've gotten in my fair share of trouble in this organization.
No, not ever. You would never do that.
Like literally, when Bobby and Derek put it out there, you were not supposed to use this group as a dating site. They fucking mean it. And
Well, would you like to talk a little more about that? Why would that be? Why would that happen, girl?
because that's what I did. I'm a lonely hoe, and so
There's nothing wrong with being lonely, and and meeting people on the
but
page.
there's a right way and a wrong way.
Right. There's nothing wrong with doing it and meeting people on the page, and that because obviously that's what the organization is for, is to meet new people. It's not. It's not there for you to have 3 flavors of the week. It is there for for you to meet new people, and if it goes somewhere, it goes somewhere. But don't repetitively use it as a way to meet people.
Where was I going with this anyway? Lord have mercy. I don't even know where I
I
was
don't know,
going.
but you got yourself in hot water in the middle of
I
it. So
did. What the hell? I turned the thing off and I didn't mean to.
There's Trooper saying, I don't know where I would be without this group. We love you, Trooper. Even though your phone service sucks and I never get to really interview you everywhere you go.
But it's funny because on the phone, he talks your ear off. And
Right.
the service never messes up. But you put him on an interview, doggone.
Yeah. Even at home, it was horrible. I was like, it made no sense. I thought it was because he wasn't at home, but I don't know. It was interesting. So, what do you think is the biggest miscommunication within our community? And I know that I want to bridge the gap all the time between the LGBTQ community and people knowing about trucking. But what do you think is the biggest maybe miscommunication or the thing that people instantly try to associate with trucking when they think of trucking? And not talking LGBTQ or anything, just trucking in general.
That's actually a hard question. I think everybody thinks that truckers are all out here just to get laid. I mean, it's a sad thing to say, but that really,
I can see that.
It's a stereotype that
Well, I had my own stereotypes that I thought, whenever I started trucking, I was thinking, okay, well, it's going to be some big guy in a flannel with bib overalls and a toothpick sticking out of the corner of his mouth. I'm serious. It's just one of those things that you think about. You don't think about when the truck passes you. You don't think of a woman driver. You don't think of a husband-wife team. You don't think of an LGBTQ driver. You don't think of someone transitioning in the truck. There's so many things that.
I can't even fathom the thought of being trans and transitioning in a truck while still doing your job. I have no clue how they do it. But
well, you have to think about the bubble concept, though. People have that safety bubble, which is your truck, and you're not in the public eye completely. You only see shippers, receivers for maybe once a day, once or every 2 or 3 days. So you have that opportunity to literally, you could hide in the truck and recover from surgeries. You could hide in the truck and recover and get your body to heal up. You even do that a little bit to your aspect. It's just, so think about them, you're in your bubble. And that's one of my biggest things. I think one of my pet peeves is people always want to, they always want to see your truck and look at the inside, kind of get inside your truck. Even police officers, all these different people, that they treat your truck like it's, they'll grab that handle and try to open it up. And, my thing is, you don't realize we are in a truck.
That's
more than what we are home. This is our home.
Just like we were talking the other day, we sleep better in these trucks than we do in the beds in our homes. I mean,
I'm
if
used
I
to
had
the truck bed. Yeah, the truck bed is more comfortable to me than my home bed.
Yeah.
I usually sleep 1 or 2 nights pretty good. The first 2 nights I'm home, and then I start. Nope.
What you should do is you should get like some kind of vibration system that goes underneath that makes it feel like the truck is rolling down the road.
I'll be sure to borrow somebody's vibrator and put it in under my mattress.
We'll call some people afterwards.
I got some people within the group I know that has them. It's good.
I know. They got some pretty big ones. So it'll make a big rumble, like you're going over rumble strips.
Tab. We'll call Tab. She's Tab.
I was thinking it, but I was like, no, I'm just not going to say names. Like, yeah, Tab, we need your collection over here.
I feel safer in my truck while transitioning than being around my family. Granted, I live with the most supportive roommates, but still. And I could see that, like I said, it's your bubble. You create this bubble. And during COVID, I was in my truck and I didn't get out for anything. I
Right.
didn't know we didn't know how we would get it, how we weren't going to get it. We didn't know anything. And so literally what was happening was we would run inside, we'd get the receipts, anything that we absolutely needed and run right back to the truck. Like,
Right.
and there were so many people that did that. The ones that stayed out on the road. And I feel like driving through COVID, that taught me a lot of things too. It was amazing traffic wise
Oh
everywhere.
my God, I miss COVID. Yeah.
It'll probably never happen again in my lifetime, but it was absolutely amazing experience. But at the same time, no toilet paper. It was like it's already hard to get food on the road, and then you go and you close all the restaurants. It was horrible. It was very hard to get food.
What's funny is that like you guys haul pharmaceuticals and you have lighted escorts and everything to get you out of places. Literally, I was working at USA Truck during that time, and we literally had police escorts on
Mhm.
toilet paper runs.
It's high value. At the time,
And
it
I
was.
was like, Lord.
I mean, people were like, it was like Black Friday when that stuff came in. People were pulling it, and there was limits on how much you could buy. It was like Black Friday sales. Like they were ready to brawl for it.
Oh, look, it's snowing.
Is it really?
Yeah, and it's blowing straight across.
That's funny. Yeah, I mean, I think that we've had a lot of fun, and I think it's been a huge learning experience for you. I know it has. And I've watched you grow and I've watched you fumble and then I've watched you succeed on certain things and other things I've watched you get completely frustrated with. But at the same time, um, I know that you have changed and done so much within the organization over a short period of time. And I know it's helped you and it's important. It's
Yeah,
important that others get involved. But it's about being involved in your community, whether you want to get involved in the local community you're at, if it's the trucking community, or however, it's so important to be involved in something. And I understand what it's like to be one of those people that's like, nope, I'm good. And we have a couple people on the group that's like that. Jeannie is very private, and even at times Tab is very private on certain things, and then Derek's a very private person, believe it or not, more than you really think. But at the same time, and Trooper is very private, but yet very supportive. All of them have found their own niche and area of how to support. Um,
how do we
and
turn Ashley quiet?
huh?
How do we turn Ashley quiet?
I don't know yet. Put her in a round room and tell her to find a corner.
I mean, actually, and I remember that. That's where I was going with the dating thing. It's like, everybody thinks that, I'm a certain person, you know, because I'll admit, I talk sexually, I talk dirty, I talk all that kind of stuff. But because of this organization, I have learned that that's not always needed.
Mhm.
And it's just been recently, so it's taken a year. I'm there's nothing slow about me. Um, Realizing that only I can change my reputation. You know, and being able to sit in interviews like this, or interview other people,
Mhm.
or getting my name out there. If I want to have my name to be like yours, even if it's like the minuscule version of yours, um, you know, you gotta act a certain way. And you don't have to change who you are, but you learn, once again, you adapt. But I've learned so much from this organization and from the people in it. I mean, I've learned, different things like from you. I've learned things from Ricky, um, Derek and Tab. I've learned all things from them. I've learned a lot from Jean Ann.
Mm-hmm.
There are days that I still sit in this truck and I cry. And I know that I don't have to. Before this organization came along, that's all I did. And I really did want to drive my truck off a cliff in Pennsylvania. But now I know that someone is just a phone call away.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I got to call multiple times and get someone answered. But if you're really, having a bad day, somebody's always there.
Yeah.
And I believe that this organization, that is one thing that we try to put out there, even if you don't belong to our organization and you can't like it because of it would out you. You can message someone privately and we will answer you and we will be there, and then we will do the same exact things that they did for me and that we have done for so many people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it's for everybody. It is for everyone. Gay, straight, bi, it doesn't matter. It's for everyone. And it's just a way of providing visibility and family and unity between everyone. And as drivers, non-drivers even. That's a thing people don't think about. We have a lot of non-drivers on the page, but yet they've had an uncle, they've had a friend, they've and it's hard sometimes. People don't understand every part of it and everything that we're talking about, and that's okay. But they learn by being a part of the page and ask questions. But we're always a phone call away. I
I
think the biggest
just
thing,
call it something.
right, and the biggest thing right now that is growing and is taking off is within the group, is the vetted program. The vetted program, we're starting to use that more and more. We're starting to get more activity where people are asking us, hey, where's a good place to work for a trans driver? Where's a good place to work for, or where's a good place that has good insurance that covers trans drivers? So it's a couple of different things, and we've had a couple of people even ask, do you know about anybody that covers bariatric surgery? And some of the companies do, some of them don't, but I give them the list of the companies that we do have vetted, and then they have the ability to call, and then I just tell everybody, when asking, ask if their insurance covers that.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think I just enjoy watching it grow. I do. I hope that it's here long after I'm gone and it's carried on by other people. That's really my goal with the organization and each part of it, because together it creates a family, and maybe someone will remember us one day as the crazy people that started it, and it just gets carried on.
It's kind of like on Facebook. You got the old gays on Facebook. Eventually, it's gonna be us.
And we got Shaniqua.
We got me, you. We're good.
We got old James over there. He's back again for round 2,
Right.
3, whatever. How many rounds it been?
Turn back time. I'm sorry.
Don't quit your day job, girl. Don't quit your day job. Even though you're not getting too many miles right now and just sitting around, don't quit your day job.
I'm telling you.
No backup singer for Cher anytime soon.
No.
She is going on tour again, though. So
How many final tours is she gonna have? I'm just saying.
I just think she's. I mean, it's not a horrible thing. Why? I know she has had a million final tours, but I think she just can't quit. It's in her blood. It's what she knows how to do. So, and that's very relatable to trucking. There's so many people out here that I've seen quit trucking so many times, but then they're like, "I'm quitting trucking. I'm going out here," and then the 6 months they're back out here doing it
Right.
again
Right.
or they took a local job and they're still doing trucking or something. And it's just because it's just like Cher turning back time from 40 years ago. She's still, it's
Right.
the same as a truck driver. It's just in your blood. It's just something about it. And even though we all gripe and bitch and complain about our jobs, we wouldn't trade it for anything.
Yeah.
Girl.
No, I know bitches and complains about trucking.
Oh no, not all. Not one of us in our group complains about nothing about trucking. No, it is so peachy, girl.
One, I'm seriously, I think the only one that doesn't bitch and complain about trucking is Jean.
I think I've heard her complain maybe once about trucking.
Yeah.
About
What's the cost
when she went to pick up a trailer and then the trailer was like messed up or something. She wasn't really complaining, but she just hates picking up when something's messed up and she has to fix it. Which I get, which I completely get. I hate picking up trailers because it's always somebody else's mess. Somebody else don't want to do it, so they turn it in and then they're like, "Oh yeah, it's fine." No, it's not. Well, with all of that being said, I've really loved all the different stuff that we've been able to do here recently. I've loved all of the different interviews we've been doing and the role that we're on. We have a whole month scheduled next month of people that we are going to be interviewing. If you are a driver that wants to be interviewed, you can reach out to me or Jess or anybody within the organization. Just message the page. We love to talk to all the drivers, and we love to include you in all of our interviews on Big Gay Trucker. And if you want to become involved, do the same as well. If you feel like you have a niche or something that you can apply to the page or apply to help us with, then reach out. That's the best thing you can do. It's fun. We do get together. We're a wild, crazy bunch. We're inappropriate and
watch your mouth.
We're inappropriate. We're fun. We're just we're truck drivers. It's that simple.
And we love to cause ripples. So if you know how to cause a ripple, we want to talk to you.
Yeah. But I mean, everybody has their little thing and their little things that they like to do. And like Jeannie Ann, she's a techie person. She has a lot of fun making the little videos. I have fun making videos and putting all the software together. And then all the graphics. We make everything and do everything ourselves.
I have fun making videos too.
Yeah, and you do it too. So
yeah, this is the time that I can put on here.
Not yet, but it might be an OnlyFans page.
Right? We got $500.
Yeah, we got about $500. So you see this little right up here in the top corner. See that right there? That right there is a donation link that we have right now because we're about $500 away. I know that the donation link does say $2,500 when you click on it, but the reason that goal is set up to that high is because one, that is what PayPal does. You have to set a goal, and that is the minimum goal you get to set. And two,
we want to wrap the truck.
Well, we want to wrap the truck and finish that donation that we have, and then we also want to be able to. All these events they cost money, anywhere from $250 entry fees clear up to $2,000 entry fees, and it's very expensive to do the things that we do to be able to be visible in the community and inclusive to everybody to be at these different shows and pride events. So it costs registration fees, it costs setup, it costs gas, it costs fuel in the trucks, it costs so much different things to do all this stuff. The banners don't come for free, the giveaways don't come for free, even though it's free to you when we go and we give things away. It is not free to us. So,
all the beads that you're gonna see at Matt's this year, it may be free to give away, but they weren't free to us.
Right. So we foot the bill for all of it. But without you, it is not possible. So all the people that do contribute. So you can always go on PayPal. Yes.
So I got a question. Is Ashley somewhere in that house right now?
Mm-hmm.
She watching this?
I'm probably not.
Probably not. You should get. Oh man, I was gonna give her a shout out.
Why?
I was just gonna be like, "Hi, wifey. Hope you're having a good day. Love you, baby."
Yeah, Ashley's birthday is on Monday.
Monday.
She's our little cousin it of the group, and her 22nd birthday is Monday.
Wow.
So yeah.
22nd or second?
22nd. I mean, she acts like it's her second, but
right.
But at least she can't turn that one around. No matter what, she can't. It don't make no difference. She is 22 either way. It doesn't matter.
That's right.
She can do the whole Taylor Swift song. I don't know about you, but I feel like 22.
There you go. In your birthday this year, you can't turn it around either.
No, I can't either.
Oh well.
I could add them together and be 8. Ashley could add them together and be 4. That sounds about the right age.
Right? I can be 14 again.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm.
The things you learned since you were 14 to now.
Well.
We ain't got time for that. That's about a 6-hour show. For
another episode.
All right. Well, I thank you so much for all that you do for the organization. And I just want to say, keep up the good work, even though you put up with me all the time. I am not all sunshine and rainbows like everybody thinks I am, that likes to put me in a little box thinking I am perfect. And I am not perfect. No one is perfect.
And a padded ass sometimes.
I have one of those, a padded ass, but but it's just important what the work that you're doing and everyone within the group is doing. So we're going to continue our series this week. Tomorrow we should have another episode where Jess is going to be interviewing someone, Vivian, I believe, and
yes,
then
we're going to be interviewing Vivian. And
then we have a couple more episodes throughout the week and next weekend leading up to Mid-America Truck Show. And that way you guys can get to know everyone within the organization just a little bit better. So I want to thank you all. And like I said, like, share, follow. We now are on a lot of different platforms, from Spotify to pretty much anywhere that podcasts are done. And we are getting ready to we're just branching out more and more and more, adding more things. So this episode you actually will be able to hear. If you can't watch it when going on the highway, if you're not looking at it on YouTube or whatever, you can actually go to podcast and pull it up, and it is under LGBTQ TDN and Big Gay Trucker. So yeah. So thank you so much, everybody. And that'll be our show for today. Thank you, Jess, for being here.
Thank you very much for having me.
Alrighty. Bye, everyone.